to power.
Now
here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. We are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot, and from the news reel, we always keep it real. Now, my brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues to look at, and I want to be very fast and very quick with this. Remember, this segment is brought to you by the kind courtesy of Royal Chapter Property Group Limited. Be a landlord or a landlady today. Own your own house and your own pieces of land right there at Teacher Mante mosquito-free zone, 30 minutes away from Accra. Call 0591 010337 or +44 750 887 1235 if you happen to be in Europe. Yes, call the number 059 010337. This is what it is. This is the Black Pot. And I'm reading this from Terry News. Yes, treenews.com, the most authentic source of news online. And it says Akufo-Addo pardons former Deputy National Security Coordinator due to ill health. And we're talking about the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Deputy. I read. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has written to the Minister of Interior, Ambrose Derry, to release the former Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Salifu Mimina Osman, from custody. This follows a petition lodged at the office of the president by the paramount chief of Kwembi, traditional area, Kwembi Wura, Haruna, Dari, Bismarck, Bambage, Ndefoso the First. Now, according to the petition dated Wednesday, July 26, Alhaji Mimina Osman deserves presidential pardon on grounds of ill health and good behavior. A response issued by the secretary to the president, Nana Asante Bediatio, on Tuesday, August 1, said, after consultation with the Council of State, President Akufo-Addo has exercised his prerogative of mercy in favor of the Deputy National Security Coordinator in the John Mahama administration and granted him mercy in accordance with Article 72(1)(a) of the 1992 Constitution. Kindly take the necessary steps to give effect to the presidential pardon immediately, the response directed the Interior Minister. Alhaji Mimina Osman was one of the 3 persons found guilty of 14 different charges, including causing financial loss to the state and contravention of the Public Procurement Act in the procurement of surveillance equipment for the National Security Council Secretariat, together with 2 other board members of the National Communications Authority, NCA, Eugene Bafo Boni and William Tete Tevi. Alhaji Mimina Osman, a son of Kwembi, was slapped with a 5-year jail sentence by Justice Eric Che Bafo in 2020. Shame on you, Alhaji Mimina Osman. Shame on you, Alhaji Mimina Osman, an Alhaji who has gone to Mecca, spent money and ran around the Kaaba, stoning the black stone. A man who went through the rituals. A man who is supposed to be of some moral high ground. You caused damage to the finances of this economy. Today, your village chief is begging for mercy. Shame on you. We all remember this story clearly. My brother, we are not dealing with a messenger. Neither are we dealing with a cleaner. We are dealing with the Deputy National Security Coordinator. National Security Coordinator. If this country is on fire, these are the people who have played the game so dumb. These are the people who are supposed to make sure that the security of this country is intact. This man here called Alhaji Mimina Osman and two other people sitting at the helm of security of this nation decided to steal from the nation using procurement breaches. They were supposed to get some surveillance equipment, and then they decided to pass the wrong paths and steal from the nation. My brother, if the equipment costs 10 Ghana cedis, they will take 1,000 Ghana cedis and even more. Procurement breaches. These are people who have no respect for the nation. They are people who have no respect for the citizenry. They are people who do not care, my brother, my sister, about whether the country is on fire or is being inundated in a drowning. My brother, my sister, they do not care about us. And this idiot has been locked up for 5 years. The Muslim community should have come out to shame him. To be able to go to Mecca in my days, Alhajis were of some high moral standing. Alhajis were the epitome of good behavior. Today, Alhajis have become charlatans. Today, a lot of Alhajis have become nothing but thieves. You were jailed in 2020 for only 5 years. This guy should have gone to jail for life. If this was in the days of Rawlings, he would have visited the firing squad. Bullets would have racked off his head. His body would have been riddled with bullets. And if he failed to die, they will order another round of shooting like they did to Afrifa. It's sad, my brother. Listen, these are the thieves whose children one day would meet you, your own children, and tell them that their father, Wambobra, he was a salary earner. He looked at the calendar so religiously, hoping that the days would run fast so he could grab yet another salary. They did not need the salary. We are proud salary takers. In fact, we sweat it out. We slug it very terribly in order to earn. That word is earn a salary. Shame on you, Alhaji Osman Mimina. And as for Pembiura, can I ask one question? Would you have also pleaded for him if he was coming from another region apart from Kwembi? I'm just asking. Right now, it looks like we are pleading for our thieves. He's our own thief, so let's find a way of freeing him. Ghanaians necessarily are not against corruption. They are for corruption as long as they benefit from the fruits of corruption. It's most unfortunate. You will see a lot of people who are anti-corruption campaigner. Let them see some word of notes on the table. They don't care the source. They all of a sudden become disciples of corruption. To God be the glory. To Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I cannot fault you. On health grounds, they could come out. But you know what I want to see? I want to see a lot of these thieving politicians in there. We are fed up with seeing weed smokers in jail. You go to the jailhouse, and 99.9% of all the people in there are weed smokers. All the big thieves like Woyome and the rest of them who have millions of American dollars stashed out in polytanks in their homes in Gonja land. Those of them who have their houseboys stealing and setting their homes on fire, taking hard cash, and those who stash millions of American dollars in their bedrooms and house helps are able to pick up those. They are those we want to see in jail. In this country, we only jail small thieves, and the big ones take a walk in the park. I want to look at this very quickly. And this one I'm reading from Ghana Web, and it says, parents are shepherds and not engineers. KKD to those harassing him and his transgender son. Popular Ghanaian media personality Kwesi Chedakwa KKD has lashed out at individuals criticizing and labeling him a bad parent following his son's affiliation to a transgender and lead advocate for the LGBTQI plus rights. KKD's son Kweku Dakwa Che Dakwa. My God, I love that name. Kweku Dakwa Che Dakwa led hundreds of LGBTQI plus members to a street protest for their rights in the United Kingdom, a development that has since stirred massive reactions from Ghanaians. Aside criticizing KKD's parenting skills, which according to critics resulted in his son's change of sexuality, netizens have also chastised the former broadcaster for the bravery he exhibited in championing virtues that are against the Ghanaian culture. By responding to the series of heavy backlash and condemnation KKD and his son have since received, KKD said parents are not meant to engineer the lives of their kids, but rather guide them. This is the wisest thing I have heard a man say to people who have no common sense. My brother, it's very sad and I am hurt. I heard Owusu Bempa, and I'm not talking about Reverend Owusu Bempa, the other Owusu Bempa. I think he's the Deputy Communications Director of the NPP, saying that KKD is a bad parent and he should rather be thinking about his son's LGBTQI status and not be running after the president and witch hunting him with bitterness. I am sad. When Kamala Harris came into this country, in front of the coat of arms, she spat in our face in this country. She told us point blank, I do not care what you guys think about. Emphasis mine. I don't care what you people stand for. But LGBTQI plus, that is a human right. And anywhere I go, everywhere I go, I will stand by that and push it. In a country that this is seen as criminal, she told us that she doesn't care how we feel. After all, she had a checkbook in her bag. Right after that, she pulled it out and signed it in front of a diminutive president who has no common sense of patriotism. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, the president stood there. Producer, find out if you can find me that cartoon of the president standing behind Kamala Harris like a little 2-year-old who is begging for candies. My brother, my sister, it's sad. What did the president tell Kamala Harris? He kowtowed and melted like wax before the fire with his tail between his legs. He told Kamala Harris, oh, don't worry about anything happening. Finally, that LGBTQIQI plus XXX will come to my table and I'll deal with it. My brother, your government is busily running after gay people and taking their money. You don't care the source of the money. Any serious meeting Africans would have to be done in Europe. My brother, you speak in the language of the European. So you cannot hide any secret from the European. Again, you run to Europe every now and then and to America begging for crumbs from off the table. Homosexuals are tax-paying people. You take aid from the European people and the American people, and homosexuals pay tax. When you take their money in the name of aid, shamelessly come and blow it in this country like people who have never, ever sung the national anthem and recited the pledge, and you turn back and criticize homosexuals, it makes me feel that you guys have no plan. KKD is not God. Duncan Williams, even Duncan Williams, the most prayerful man on earth, the man who was able to pray to stabilize the dollar, the man who was able to pray and keep the dollar standing still like the sun. In the days of Joshua, he couldn't pray for his son to run away from drugs. Duncan Williams has a son who is a drug addict. Would you say that is a bad father? Would you call Duncan Williams an irresponsible father? Or would you say that his prayers have failed? Parents are only shepherds. They only lead the horse to the river. They do not manufacture children's behaviors. KKD, do not let anybody put pressure on you. If you do know the history of KKD's son, you will be the last person to cast a stone at him. He and his wife divorced. They had a distant relationship. He lived in Ghana, lucratively employed, whilst his wife was in England. According to him, he would pay his way through, flying all the way to England, just to sleep with his wife for 30 minutes and return to Ghana. That relationship should have crumpled down a long time ago. He relocated to England. When the relationship did not work, he returned home. Was that why his son became homosexual? My brother, some people who have had the best upbringing in life have taken up some activities and behaviors that we can't say on radio. To God be the glory. I'm reading this from Peace FM Online, and it says, why is Kenneth Oriata still at post? We see Pratt questions, and I read, managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., has questioned why Minister of Finance Kenneth Oriata is still at post. He wondered why Kenneth Oriata would lead the media budget review despite agitations by some members of parliament of both the ruling New Patriotic Party and the largest opposition National Democratic Congress, calling for his removal from office months ago, as they reposed little or no confidence in him. Mr. Pratt expressed difficulty in understanding why the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the New Patriotic Party partly seemingly cannot find a better replacement for the finance minister. Mr. Pratt, I have the answer for you. We have a president who does not respect the citizenry. Very arrogant, and he doesn't care what happens to the people. He doesn't care. His arrogance. He has a thick alligator skin. No matter how much you talk, he turns a deaf ear to all of you. That is the president we have. My brother, can you believe that the finance minister is still here? Even the NPP MPs who were agitating and fighting, they have grown cold and numb from all the agitations. You see, we vote demons into power and they graduate into Satan. This is what is happening. How many times have we spoken to the president and he listened to us? He only heard us but never listened to us. My brother, my sister, he is having 2 terms. 1 term already gone. The second one is almost gone. He has nothing to lose. When he drank Calipo with us, when he went around telling us there was all the money on earth in Ghana, we believed him. Today, this is our payback check. Eric Mawena is in the house. And today he's wearing a beautiful suit. My God have mercy.